Hi, I'm Aubrie Bills, and I'm going to discuss the controversial topic of global warming. Global warming, also known as climate change, is defined as the increase in Earth's average temperature. The average temperatures have climbed 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit around the world since 1880, much of this in recent decades, according to NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. The rate of warming is increasing. The 20th century last 2 decades were the hottest in 400 years and possibly the warmest for several millennia, according to a number of climate studies. And the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reports that 11 of the past 12 years are among the dozen warmest since 1850. The Arctic is feeling the effects the most. Average temperatures in Alaska, Western Canada, and eastern Russia have risen at twice the global average, according to the multinational Arctic Climate Impact Assessment Report compiled between 2000 and 2004. Human influence has been shown to be the dominant cause of global warming. In a February 2007 report published by the IPCC, 2,500 scientists in more than 130 countries concluded that humans have caused all or most of the current planetary warming. Industrialization, deforestation, and pollution have greatly increased atmospheric concentrations of water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, all of these greenhouse gases that help trap heat near Earth's surface. Humans are pouring carbon dioxide into the atmosphere much faster than plains and oceans can absorb it. These gases persist in the atmosphere for years, meaning that even if such emissions were eliminated today, it would not immediately stop global warming. Some experts point out that natural cycles in Earth's orbit can alter the planet's exposure to sunlight, which may explain the current trend. Earth has indeed experienced warming and cooling cycles roughly every 100,000 years due to these orbital shifts, but such changes have occurred over the span of several centuries. Today's changes have taken place over the past 100 years or less. Other recent research has suggested that the effects of variations in the sun's output are negligible as a factor in warming, but other, more complicated solar mechanisms could possibly play a role. There are many detrimental effects of global warming on the environment. As described in a follow-up report on global warming from the IPCC in April 2007, states that large-scale food and water shortages have catastrophic effects on wildlife. Sea levels could rise between 7 and 23 inches by the century's end, the IPCC's February 2007 report projected. Rises of just 4 inches could flood many South Seas islands and swamp large parts of Southeast Asia. Some 100 million people live within 3 feet of the mean sea level, and much of the world's population is concentrated in vulnerable coastal cities. In the U.S., Louisiana, and Florida are especially at risk. Glaciers around the world could melt, causing sea levels to rise while creating water shortages in regions dependent on runoff for fresh water. Strong hurricanes, droughts, heat waves, wildfires, and other natural disasters may become commonplace in many parts of the world. The growth of deserts may also cause food shortages in many places. More than 1 million species face extinction from disappearing habitat, changing ecosystems, and acidifying oceans. The ocean circulation system, known as the conveyor belt, could be permanently altered, causing a mini ice age in Western Europe and other rapid changes. Is global warming caused by man or by nature? The global warming controversy refers to a variety of disputes substantially more pronounced in the popular media than in the scientific literature regarding the nature, causes, and consequences of global warming. The disputed issues include the causes of increased global average air temperature, especially since the mid-20th century, whether this warming trend is unprecedented or within normal climatic variations, whether humankind has contributed significantly to it, and whether the increase is completely or partially an artifact of poor measurements. Additional disputes concern estimates of climate sensitivity, predictions of additional warming, and what the consequences of global warming will be. By 1990, American conservative think tanks had begun challenging the legitimacy of global warming as a social problem. They challenged the scientific evidence, argued that global warming would have benefits, and asserted that proposed solutions would do more harm than good. Organizations such as the Libertarian Competitive Enterprise Institute, conservative commentators, and some companies such as ExxonMobil have challenged IPCC climate change scenarios, funded scientists who disagree with the scientific consensus, and provided their own projections of the economic cost of stricter controls. On the other hand, some fossil fuel companies have scaled back their efforts in recent years or even called for policies to reduce global warming. Global oil companies have begun to acknowledge climate change exists and is caused by human activities and the burning of fossil fuels. 68% of Democrats think global warming is a very serious problem compared to just 20% of Republicans. What can we do to prevent global warming? There are many ways to decrease harmful effects of global warming. You can talk to your friends and family and make sure your elected officials are making good decisions. You can voice your concerns and send messages to them about how you care about the warming world. Encourage Congress to enact new laws that limit carbon emissions and require polluters to pay for the emissions that they produce. You can power your home with renewable energy. Choose a utility company that generates at least half its power from wind or solar and has been certified by Green Energy, an organization that vets renewable energy options. Also, building, heating, and cooling are among the biggest uses of energy. Heating and air conditioning account for almost half of home energy use. You can make your space more energy efficient by sealing drafts and ensuring it's adequately insulated. You can also invest in energy-efficient appliances. Since they were first implemented nationally in 1987, efficiency standards for dozens of appliances and products have kept 2.3 billion tons of carbon dioxide out of the air. That's about the same amount as the annual carbon pollution coughed up by nearly 440 million cars. You can buy better bulbs. LED light bulbs use up to 80% less energy than conventional incandescents. They're also cheaper in the long run. A 10-watt LED that replaces your traditional 60-watt bulb will save you about $125 over the light bulb's life. You can drive a fuel-efficient vehicle. Gas-smart cars like hybrids and fully electric vehicles save fuel and money. Once all cars and light trucks meet 2025's Clean Car standards, which means averaging at least 54.5 miles per gallon, they will be a mainstay. You can also maintain your ride. If all Americans kept their tires properly inflated, we could save 1.2 billion gallons of gas each year. A simple tune-up can boost your miles from 4 to 40%, and a new air filter can get you a 10% boost. You can also rethink planes, trains, and automobiles. Choosing to live in a city where you can walk through the town and with quality public transportation, it leads to less driving, less money spent on fuel, and less pollution in the air. Less frequent flying can make a big difference too. Air transport is a major source of climate pollution. Thank you for watching. I hope you all do your part in lessening the severity of global warming.